Hey guys, I'm Darcy from the Optimal Health Lab. Today we're just going to be talking you through some routines and some things that you can do before returning to basketball for domestic players in order to prepare best and get back to your best straight away without getting any injuries and any injuries going forward as well. The best way to reduce risk of injury with returning to sport with the junior kids is to make sure that you're already doing some form of load at home. So this might be shooting around with some friends, with mum, with dad, or anyone in your team that you can organise a time with to go and get a little bit of load into your legs and a bit of time playing, shooting, running and jumping to reduce the chance of then overloading those tendons and those body parts too quickly and causing yourself to get injured. So during the COVID break, a lot of us have been spending a lot more time on computers, sitting and watching Netflix and things like that. So a lot of the time we haven't done much of the jumping, hopping, twisting, changing direction that we do during basketball. So it's going to be really important for all the players at the Wildcats to make sure that they reload back into this nice and slowly. A lot of the time all you've been doing is nice straight lines. So practicing your pivots, coming off one foot and shooting, things like that can be a great way to reload your knees slowly and get them used to the load again to play basketball. So coming back into basketball, guys, over the next week or so, it's going to be really important that we start to build our strength up a little bit around our hips, knees, and even our ankles as well. So some really simple ways that you can do this is with some lunges, some squats, simple exercises like that can help to build up some muscle strength around the knees and reduce the chance of injury as well. So we can give you a few exercises or you can come in and see us at some stage and we can start to give you a program to build up with body weight and not having to use any weights or a gym or anything to get you back and used to loading your body as you return into basketball. Jumping straight back into basketball after a 9-month break that it's been now can be quite detrimental to all of your body parts. So having the ability to load nice and slowly and get used to let your body get used to getting back into basketball is really important. So if we suddenly increase our load to a full game play, the chance of having an injury increases exponentially. If we don't do this at a slow pace and allow our body to naturally get used to the rigors of basketball, this is when injuries do occur. So by having a bit of strength in the background prior to starting basketball and all of the coaches and players and parents allowing you to do this nice and slowly, this transition back into games is going to be really important to reduce injuries. So going into game day, guys, it's going to be really important that you do a really good warm-up. So this might include some simple exercises like some crab walks, some glute bridges, some gentle squats, and then building your warm-up throughout the morning as you get ready for your game. So this may take 15, 20 minutes, take some time, get a power band out, so one of the little mini bands, and do a few exercises to warm those glutes, knees, ankles up nicely. From there, it's really important for the coaches to listen to the players. If any of them get any knee pain, ankle pain, hip pain, anything like that, try and take them off and give them a rest. Allowing each player to stagger their time throughout the game as you return is going to be really important. So don't expect to play the full game in your first game. It's really important that the coaches manage their players' time and allow them to recover and not be too fatigued, because fatigue is a big factor in causing a lot of injuries that happen. Alright guys, so when you finish your game and your first game back in particular, and then building back from there over the next season, it's really important that you then go and cool down and warm down as a team. This is a really good thing to do as a team and make it a part of your routine. So what I want you guys to do is after the game, do some gentle foam rolling, a really nice slow cool down and some gentle stretching just to help cool the muscles down slowly and get them used to recovering after the game finishes. So from there, the next day, if you really want to, options such as foam rolling your calves, your hamstrings, your quads, and even your glutes is a really good way to get your muscles loosened up again. And going for a gentle walk the next day is also really good as well. If you want to go to the next level, things like ice baths and things like that can be a really good way to relax the muscles and give them a good chance to recover in preparation for your trainings and your games the following week. Individually though, from the team, a good way for each of you to recover and get better after your game is to eat some good food, build your carbs back up, get a lot of water into you for hydration. This minimises the chance of cramps and any further sort of injuries like that. And then making sure that your sleep's really good the night afterwards and the night before as well is a really good way to optimise your performance going forward into the next week. So commonly in younger people and kids with returning to sport, the most common injuries that occur are what we call a patellar tendinopathy, which is an injury to the front of the knee, and people also call it jumper's knee. So this occurs when we suddenly return to an increased load at a high intensity, so getting back to our game days. And what can happen with that is that the front of the knee gets sore and it won't get any better over a short period of time. So what we generally have to do is gently reload these muscles and make them feel stronger and better, and this will help to reduce the injury and get it back to your optimal health. So some other injuries that might occur, guys, is due to the time off, you haven't been used to your change of directions, you're jumping and landing, and also the contact from other players during basketball. So ankles are a really common sprained thing that happens throughout the day when you're playing basketball. So making sure to minimise sprained ankles, the best way to go about that is to make sure that you've had some jumping in, you've done some landing mechanics, so that might be with your physio or with your coach, and slowly reintroducing some change of direction. So this might be a good thing to do with some cones, setting up a zigzag, or with your coach, dodging in between some team members and doing layups and things like that to get your ankles used to back into game mode again. So getting back to training, guys, this is going to be a really important stage for getting you back into games as well. So if we can build your training up slowly over a couple of weeks, that's going to be a really good way of reducing the chance of injury. So for instance, the first few sessions may be mainly skill-based, making sure there's not too much competition between players, focusing on getting your running and your change of direction back into your body and allowing your body to get used to this. Over the coming weeks, over the 2, 3, 4 weeks coming from there, your coaches should start to pick the intensity up slightly, make the speed a little bit faster, and ensure that then they can then load your knees, your ankles, your hips and everything so that no injury occurs going forward. So over the next week before we return to games, it's really important for your parents to make sure that you're warming up properly, getting to trainings and starting to get this load back into your body. So it's going to be really important though that you don't move too quickly, and if you are getting sore, that your parents listen to you and allow you to have some time off if you do need to. So talk to your coaches, talk to your parents about maybe doing a lighter training session here and there. This way, for safety and to reduce the chance of injury, we can get you back playing quicker and ensure that you won't get injured. On top of that, a little bit of strength training at home that we'll give you is going to be really important. So this might be around strengthening up your quads, doing things like lunges, squats, starting with some crab walks or some glute bridges for your glutes, and starting to incorporate a little bit of strength training to make sure that these injuries don't occur. If you've had an injury before, guys, it's going to be really important that you make sure this injury is okay. If we return too quickly, a lot of injuries can reoccur. So being mindful of these injuries, whether it's an ankle sprain or a past muscle tear, that making sure these areas of the body are nice and strong is going to be really important for returning to sport. So if you're unsure if you're ready to return to sport, or if you feel like your ankle's maybe not as strong as it should be, or that you are at risk of injury, give us a call and we'll be happy to screen you and have a look at the injury and make sure that it doesn't have any issues when you get back to the games. That way, we can make sure you're nice and safe and you won't miss any more basketball than what you have in the last 9 months as well. Thanks for listening, guys. I hope you got something out of all these tips that Scotty and I have put together regarding your strength and getting back to basketball. We really hope that you guys enjoy being back at basketball, and we look forward to seeing you in here at the Optimal Health Lab if you need some assistance with injuries or just a bit of information on strength and getting back to basketball at your best ability. Thanks for that, guys.